Hello YouTubes! Man, today I'm back with the Home Depot Anaconda. I want to give them some upgrades. I want to change them around a little bit because you know cobwebs don't ever leave anything alone. I've already actually worked on them a little bit. I had one issue with them that really wasn't an issue, but it was a little upgrade I wanted to do. I wanted this guy to spit out fog. When you got a prop this impressive, man, he really needs some fog or that added feature. I'm surprised they didn't put them in him. So I just went ahead and robbed some old fog hoses I had for different props and stuff. You can put them together. They got a little shorter end that'll plug into each other. And I just grabbed some hose. Home Depot sells it. Spirit sells it. So you guys can see, I got a little port back here. So I'll plug his fog in here. And the head is 2-piece, no longer. So I ran the hose up here through his head. I just drilled a paddle bit right through his head, right through his mouth. And as you can see, deep in his mouth, he's got the other end of the hose coming out. So now I've got fog from his base of the head all the way out the mouth. So this thing should spit fog now. The other thing I wanted to eliminate was that head bracket. It was kind of sad. The head was kind of tilting down and stuff, and I wasn't really happy with it. So I went ahead and sanded everything out with 80 grit after I got my hose inserted. And I went ahead and used a product that I use for doing door skins and stuff in the automotive world. It's just it's a SEM door skin metal SMC panel adhesive. This stuff's about $35, $36, $40 a cartridge, so I wouldn't recommend you guys using this. I use it because I had it laying around the shop. But what I would recommend is probably DevCon. You can use the Gorilla Glue version. It's all like a 5-minute epoxy because you want to bond this plastic. Plastic to plastic. And I love DevCon. That's usually my go-to for everything, so I like DevCon. Brother Vic loves the Gorilla Glue version of this. It's a nice 5-minute epoxy that'll stick to plastic. So as you can see, I've got a one-piece head now that I want to paint. I also popped the eyes out. The eyes are a little bit of an issue on this guy. I tried masking around him. I wasn't really happy with them. So his eyes are just really little small tiny plastic lenses, really thin and hollow. So I just traced all the way around with a little pocket screwdriver and stabbed in until I got the lenses to pop out. And I may reuse these, I don't know, it depends, I might make new. And I just use a little bit of blue tack or the stuff you hang pictures on the wall and you don't put holes in your walls. So right now he's got blue tack over his eye bulbs, so that way I don't paint them or disturb them while we do our paint job and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with the head. Now that we've got fog in it, I got the eyes covered up. I do want to put some bigger teeth in them, although this is a green anaconda. They're constrictors, they really don't have big fangs, but I want to make this thing more of like a sea serpent. And I want to do some big monster fangs hanging in the front. I think that'll be really cool. Maybe some down the back too. So the head's basically scuffed and ready for paint. But the other thing I didn't like about this was these guys. They give you some weak, anemic little stakes to put this guy in the ground. I'm not a fan of it. As you can see on this one, that's what's supposed to hold this guy in the ground. Not really a fan. So my plan is to do some beefier upgrades, and I'll show you guys what we're going to do with some rebar and some PVC pipe. Okay, YouTubes, we're back. You can see I took one of the little mounts out. This little toothpick they give you sticks in here, and that's supposed to hold this snake in the ground. Not going to happen. We're not doing that. Most of my props, I like to use 1/2-inch rebar. I got this from Menards. It's I think there's 2-foot sections and 18-inch sections. They're about $3 or $4 a piece. You just pound them in the ground, and they're steady. You'll never have to worry about your prop coming loose. So I took this little insert out of the bottom of the snake they give you, and my plan is to take a piece of 3/4-inch pipe. I got 2 pieces cut that are 6.5 inches. It's 3/4 because the pipe will slide right over. And there's a little bit of play in there, but not enough for your prop to come loose. Now, my plan is to take these. I'm going to stick it right here. I'm going to cut these little veins down with the razor blade. Shave those down. We're going to get our pipe to fit flush on top of that. And I'm going to go ahead with that same DevCon that I did, that I could have did the head with. And I'm going to glue these in. So then we'll have a little ring left in here that I'm going to grind away. And our 1/2-inch rebar should fit right in here and anchor our snake center section down. So every single piece has it. We got 4 of these we got to do. I'm going to go ahead and shave these down, get our PVC to fit, make sure it fits in there, and make sure that our rebar can clear everything to where the hump is. And then we're going to get this thing prepped and ready for paint because this thing sorely needs some new paint on it. Okay, YouTubes, we're back. I went ahead and epoxied the little stems on so our PVC stems will fit in the center hump. Like I said, 6.5 inches, that's as high as they go before they top out for the top of the hump of the snake. So these guys are ready to get screwed in. As you can see, the other ones are done on the tail and the head. The 1/2-inch rebar slides right in. So I can stab this in the ground and the snake tail will stand up and won't have any problems with it flying around the yard or blowing over. I did go ahead and I put some rigid foam in the bottom of these before I screwed in, so it puts a little weight in the bottom. I would go ahead and put some gravel or some sand or something, just to make sure you don't want to get top heavy and have these things tip over on you. My last little thing I got to do is I got to prep everything for paint. I went ahead and ran a scuff pad over mostly everything to kind of bust up that little shiny finish on there. As you can see, there's a center seam all the way down on all the pieces, but I never ever paint on anything shiny. That's just my thing, you know, being a classic car restorer and painter, I just can't do it. I'm going to go ahead and paint the stomachs first on everything. There's a nice kind of raised ridge right here, so I think that by the time if I paint the stomachs first and then put a piece of tape on it, I can mask off the green, and I'm going to shoot a pretty similar green because I love the green and yellow. That fits my swamp theme. So we're going to do bellies first, and I picked out a nice Rust-Oleum 2X Satin Summer Squash color, which will be the bellies. And I went ahead and want to get the belly done, and I want to blast that mouth, and the mouth is going to be this prickly pear color, just some pink in the back of that mouth. And I thought, man, you know, before I go ahead and shoot, I thought, I got this big old massive jar of teeth, right? And we're going to put some big old honking fangs in this guy's mouth. It's like, what if we put some teeth? I picked out a bunch. Now I've got pumpkin teeth, I've got Monsterous Designstudio teeth, I got some Menards teeth. But what if we took a couple of teeth and put them like a sea serpent or a sea creature and put them along his spine? So maybe I'll drill some holes in after I paint, and I'll install a bunch of teeth back there. I don't know, I'll pick out some teeth, and that'll keep little neighbor kids from trying to ride this guy. So I want to see little Johnny sit on this, huh? Go ahead, little Johnny, take a stab. So I'll probably line the spines just with some teeth. I think that'll be pretty cool before I paint the green on. But I think we're just about ready. I'm going to go ahead and get these installed into the center hump. I'll probably rigid foam fill those in too, just to kind of lock them into place and give them some weight. And then I'll probably drill in teeth. Like I said, I got a plethora of teeth to choose from, and I'm going to go ahead and bust out these stomachs and get our yellow on. When we come back, we'll have a yellow-bellied snake. Okay, YouTube, I want to add one side note before we throw paint on this thing. I went ahead and fired up the wood burner, and I thought, man, what if we put some cool scratches on this guy's belly to make it look like he's been crawling on his belly for 1,000 years? So I took my little wood burning tool, and I just kind of carved into the plastic, put some nicks in there. I mean, look how easy that slides right into this plastic to put some heavy ridges. Plus, it'll help cover this little rigid little center seam. But man, I think that just looks really cool. It makes it look like those plates are thick and heavy, and he's been crawling on them for a lot of years. So I think I'm going to go ahead and run the wood burner over all the bellies first, and then I'm going to shoot the yellow when we come back. We're going to have us a spiked out yellow belly anaconda. And then we'll move on to masking off that and working on the green part. Okay, YouTubes, it's been a day or two. I got the bellies all painted. It worked out pretty good. I got the mouth all painted with a shot of pink, so his mouth is done. I did go ahead and take some of those Monsterous Designstudio teeth that I had. I'll try and leave a link below. Had a whole big jar of them. So I went ahead and I glued them in with the good old DevCon 5-minute epoxy. I love this stuff. It works great. As you can see, the wood burner did a really nice trick of bringing out like a lot of scales and drag patterns on his belly, which I really love. But it's really bright and clean, so I thought I'd break out the airbrush today and see if I couldn't darken it up a little bit. And then we can move on because I got to paint these. We got to mask off. I'm going to try and fill in the crevices and cracks here. Then I want to mask off and shoot the outside green, and I want to airbrush some new stripes and stuff back on this thing. So let me see. I think I got the airbrush tuned up. I got a little single stage Badger brush is all it is, nothing special. And I'm not even gonna mask off the sides. I'm just gonna shoot past it. I'm just gonna put some little lines in there, just for some little definition. And if it gets too much, I can always go back later and scuff it off with the Scotch-Brite pad. And this is just red oxide primer right out of the can. I just shot it right into the little jar. There we go. Just want to fill in some of those little grooves and cracks. It looks like this thing's been on its belly for a while. And again, it ain't got to be perfect. I just want to bring out a little bit of that belly, just to make it look like he's been laying on his belly for a while and dragging himself across the floor and God knows what. So I just want to shoot a little bit under those scales. And then I'll probably go back with the red scuff pad and I'll knock some of it down. I'll add some more. But I'm going to go ahead and go through all the bellies on these guys and the head. And when I come back, we're going to start masking off this yellow, and we're going to shoot the green on the outside today, because today's our last nice day here in Indiana, so let's get busy. Okay, YouTubes, our airbrushing is all done on the bellies. I got everything masked off with blue painter's tape. I'm going to go ahead and paint everything with this satin Eden color. It's actually pretty damn close to what the snake has. I'm going to paint everything, spikes and all, and it's just too much to do in here. So I'm going to shoot this, and when I come back, we'll be unmasked. And I want to get ready to start doing a different color in the stripe, and we'll airbrush a different stripe pattern on. So I'm going to get these painted, and then we'll come back. Alright, YouTube, we are back. Our satin Eden green is all shot. It's been like 35 minutes or so. I went ahead and I made a little template out of a DevCon card. I'm going to use this as like a little accent color on some of the spots I put back in there. I've got the airbrush loaded up with this satin Hunt Club green color. I think that'll make a nice dark stripe against the green. And right before I brought it in, I took some fluorescent green and I shot just a dust coat right down the center of the spine on the head, the tail, and the center hump. I got plenty left because I'm really hoping that after Halloween I can get another couple of these and have some more center hump sections and do like a whole Loch Ness Monster thing. I've also got a couple of pumpkin teeth, or not pumpkin teeth, these are Monsterous Designstudio teeth, the same as the ones that are down the spine. Even though it's a constrictor, I want it to be more of like a sea serpent, so I'm going to put these big old bad boys in there when we're done airbrushing. So now I just got to go ahead and lay out a pattern for this guy. I want to go in between the spikes, the little spines on his back, and I think I want to do like an open pattern this time, and maybe some spots on the side, and then I'll go back and I'll dust in some color on the spots, maybe like another yellow again that'll pick up that bright color, and maybe blacklight or something, I don't know. So I've got the airbrush ready to go. I think I want to do something. I gotta watch which way the scallops go, the scales. So I want to do something kind of a wavy pattern. So I don't know, maybe something like that. And then we'll do an open pattern this time versus one big blocky bar across it. And I want it to be kind of fluid and move and kind of curve towards the back and give this thing some kind of movement, even though it's sitting still and it's a static prop. So that's my plan. And I think I'll maybe go back and I'll brush the spines, maybe with a tan color. And then I want to connect these bars right when they get down towards the belly. So something like that. Let's see, go over the top. Again, it ain't got to be perfect, and man, you can do anything with this thing, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. I just thought some more organic shapes. And if you mess up, you can always go back and slow some more green on. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I think stay pretty similar to that. That's pretty cool. I like that. And I'm going to go knock this whole thing out. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and put some the little skull color on. I'll show you. Let's see. So hopefully I can do that behind some stripes and maybe fog in some little skulls on this thing along the side. So I'm going to knock this whole thing out and we come back. I think our painting will be done. Okay, YouTubes, I think my airbrushing is done. I'm down to the last little details. I just DevConned in his big old monster fangs. I got to paint his teeth white. I think I'm going to paint the little spines this satin ivory silk. I don't want a bright white, I want an off-white. So I'll probably paint the teeth and the spines the same color. Maybe do a little touch-up. Get off there, stink bug. Where are you going? Deck him out. I got to put 2 coats of clear on this thing. Make sure he's nice and shiny and glossy so he looks like he's wet and slimy. And then next time you see this guy, he'll be finished. We'll put him in the yard. We'll hook some fog up to him and watch this guy breathe fire, man. Okay, YouTube, we're done, man. The Anaconda is in place. I got it staked down. Like I said, 1/2-inch stakes. We just drop the pieces right over. I can stick them however I want them. I got a big yellow floodlight behind this thing. I've got the fog machine hooked up, so I should be kicking on fog in a couple of minutes. I got the center section here. I got the head here, so I can kind of aim it where I want. Got my hose running back up to the fog machine. I got all my cattails stabbed in the ground. It's right by the swamp witch. Let me see if I can get this thing to kit some fog off. Okay, see there's a swamp witch. Now let me see if I can get this thing to fog. It should be Annie's time now. But I got my little cattails I got from the dollar store stabbed in. I just have to be careful not to walk on them or trip on them. Come on, Anaconda, spit it out. Let's go. But I figure I put him right up there next to the swamp witch, so he can hang out by her. And then her pot's lit up at night with, I think, a green light in her face. And there's a yellow floodlight over here because all my swamp witch area is in greens and yellows. So let me see what's going on with this damn snake. Come on, Fog. Check it out. Oh, that's so freaking cool, man. And it's just a simple tube right up through the neck at the top of the head. Pretty freaking awesome. I'll hit it again. Pretty cool. I'm stoked, man. Let me pull you guys off the tripod and I'll get you a close-up look at that. We're outside in the light. You can see the paint job better. Yeah, see? There's the tail. There's my little floodlight behind the tail. So I'm really happy with the airbrushing and the patterns and the stripes. All the little spikes. I actually did brush blacklight on there, so my blacklight's up at the very top of the garage at the peak, but I don't think I'm going to get enough light down here to actually do anything because it clashes with the yellow that's right there. But I'm really happy with it. Man, it's like, this is such a great item this year that I think I overlooked. I think everybody should get them. I went ahead and put 3 skulls on the top of the head with that little airbrush pattern I made. One for me, Dave, and Vic, or the Trio of Terror. The paint's done. I went ahead and epoxied the fangs in. I'm just really happy with it. I think it's super cool to add to my swamp area. I love the pattern. I'd really like to buy a couple of more of those things so I could do some more center sections. So I got plenty of paint left, hoping that in time I could do some more center sections. But that is my Anaconda hanging up by the Swamp Witch. Okay, YouTubes, this is my Home Depot Anaconda Swamp Makeover. You can see it's spitting out the fog. This thing is freaking awesome. I love it. I think the kids are going to freak out on Halloween night when they see it. I don't know if I'm going to have fog hooked up on Halloween night, but I definitely want to fog the garage. But I'm just loving this thing. It's such a cool fix, man. It's just a tube, a fog hose up through the neck, out to the mouth with a little spit back there in his throat. So it's an easy fix, it's an easy conversion. And then just paint, airbrushing, and detailing. So, man, I hope you guys dig my my Anaconda home makeover. It was super fun. I'm going to have this thing for a lot of years. Like I said, I want to see if I can't get some more of these and add some center sections to this thing and really stretch it out like a Loch Ness monster. So if you guys get a chance, go see my brothers in the Trio of Terror, Vic over at Monster Misfits, and Dave at the Weird Kid Show channel. Guys, we're putting out projects all the way from now until next Halloween, so keep on watching. And I really hope you enjoyed my Anaconda snake makeover. I just love this thing. I think it's going to be super cool for my, my swamp area of my haunt. Next to my little witch here. Come on, boy, hit it. One more time. So cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching.